May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please sit. So you are Pratham.
Yes, sir.
Pratham Yambur, and you are from Himachal Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
right? Tell us something about yourself.
So, I have done my schooling from Johar Navodaya Vidyalaya, and after that I have done my graduation from Delhi College of Arts and Commerce. I belong to Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh, and my hobbies include listening to audiobooks and playing basketball, sir.
And playing basketball, listening to audiobooks and playing basketball. But you also mentioned that you were team leader of Himachal at the Interstate Science Congress on Himalayan conservation. Yes. Himalayan conservation. What does this talk about? Himalayan conservation.
Himalayan conservation essentially means to preserve the ecological as well as the ecosystem of the Himalayas because of the recent climatic changes as well as anthropogenic changes in the Himalayas. Sir. To reverse that and to protect it, the conservation of Himalayas is important, sir.
What are the environmental changes coming? I mean, why is that so?
Yes, sir. So, Himalaya is facing two front challenges. One from the anthropogenic changes in terms of infrastructure development and development of new projects like hydro projects in the region beyond its carrying capacity. And as well as the global warming in general has exaggerated the glacial melting in the region, which has caused challenges like glacial lake outburst and flash floods, etc. Sir.
You're mentioning about the development, the hydroelectric projects. But I recall maybe 2 or 3 years back, I saw the entire houses collapsing. It's only the it's only the dams which are there, or there are some other areas also which needs to be looked into in the case of Himachal Pradesh.
So dam is one of the major reasons because it also includes the tunneling of the region, and apart from it, sir, the tourism aspect is also there. Because of that, there has been increased infrastructure development, which is sometimes unsustainable, and it causes issues like landslide and subsidence of land as well, sir.
But who draws the line in that case? Is it that these structures have come all of their own, and there has been no regulation, or there are no rules? Have they come up beyond the regulated area? Any idea?
Yes, sir. I think it is beyond the carrying capacity of some regions because the development is not evenly divided in everywhere in Himachal. Some areas have been developed much more than the other regions. Also, the tourism footfall in regions like Shimla is very high, and because of that, the issues like the traffic congestion and the water crisis is there, and the skewed development only in those regions is causing such issues also.
Now, tell you one thing. Like the year 2024 was hot, right?
Yes.
There are certain, you must have heard about the Paris Agreement.
Yes, sir.
On climate change, obviously. So what does it speak about, and where are we crossing the lines that have been set up?
So, sir, recently WMO has bring its report that we have breached the 1.5 degree Celsius target that we have considered for ourselves during the Paris Agreement, and this is the first time that we have breached this target, and it has caused sir multiple challenges because of that as well, sir.
What are the challenges?
Yes.
What areas is it going to impact apart from the earth becoming hot? But where? What would be the ramifications of the earth heating up?
The major would be in terms of sir, glacial melting and sea level rise and subsidence of the coastal areas. Second would be the change in the adaptability of the species, which is causing mass extinction in oceans as well as in the land. And apart from it, the extreme weather phenomena have increased. For example, forest fires. For example, heat waves, as well as glacial lake outbursts, and these are some of the issues.
Would that also impact the food security of the country?
Yes, sir. Indeed, sir. It has impacted in a lot of ways because in 2023, because of heat waves, the wheat production have gone down significantly as well, sir.
How much?
Sorry, sir. I'm not.
Anyhow, now let us say there is an issue. the challenge of global warming. And then, of course, we have also been talking about the lower productivity of certain food grains, including wheat. What are the government intervention in this regard? What has government thought about in order to ensure or in order to see to it that the challenge of global warming could be met to some extent? It cannot be total, but a lot of interventions are there.
Yes, sir. So, in terms of, sir, tackling the challenges of global warming, government has taken multiple initiatives. First of all, it would be towards the green transition in the fuel, where National Hydrogen Mission.
No. I'm asking very specific. Please listen to the question carefully with reference to food production.
Okay, sir. May I take some time to, sir, recollect?
Please take.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. To increase the food production and tackle the reduced output because of the climatic changes, government has provided interventions like soil testing of the land, where the Kisan Vaigyanik Kendras is providing soil testing facility so that the optimum production.
You're off the mark, in fact, you know.
Mr. Pratham, आपने I think you have taken international law.
Yes, international relations.
Okay. Can you tell me what was the NAM by Pandit Nehru?
So, non-alignment movement was initiated by our former Prime Minister Nehru during the Cold War era. The aim was to balance India's stance in the global geopolitics between the two extremes of the power led by US and the Russia. And apart from it, we want to create a harmony between the developing countries of the region so that they do not get into the power race that was going at that point of time, sir.
Yeah. What about his punch seal? You have listened punch seal. Yes. Can you explain?
So, punch seals are the 5 principles that Pandit Nehru has provided to create a peaceful international system and follow the Article 51 of the Constitution as well. And these include, sir, non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries, and also respecting the sovereignty of neighbor countries and other countries, and also not providing space to outside powers to use the land of the region for like issues like terrorism, etc. So these are the few points that I can reel off.
Now you have written participated state level Kho Kho
Yes.
Recently, the government of India has announced Khel Ratna Award.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell the 3 names which were given?
Yes, sir. In recent Khel Ratna Awards, sir, one is Manu Bakir, one is Gukesh, and the chess prodigy, and I think, sir, third one I'm not able to recall, sir.
Yeah. You have listened about the 8th Pay Commission. But 8th Pay Commission.
8th Pay Commission, the last 7th Pay Commission was established in 2016, and after periodic of 10 years, government has established the revision of the central government services and the pay level to make it to tackle the situations like in the inflation, as well as to adjust it with the rising wages in the economy, sir. To adjust with that, the 8th Pay Commission has been set up, sir.
Can you tell me about there is department industrial policy promotion, and there is another department heavy industry department, and another is MSME.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference? What for they are made separate departments?
Yes.
All are dealing industrial policy of the government. So what is the difference? What is the use of having 3 departments? Industrial policy promotion,
Yes, sir.
heavy industry, and MSME.
Yes. And these all are essentially to tackle the middle sector gap that we are facing in manufacturing sector. And these three may look similar, however, their roles are very differentiated and overlap, and they help each other in a way also. The DIPPT helps in the promotion of the products of India in the internal sector as well, and the MSME focuses mainly on the small economy, small startups to provide different schemes and implement the schemes like Startup India in the country. And the heavy industries mainly focuses on the section of the economy which is related to, sir, vehicles and steel industries, etc., sir, which are a major export part, which is a major export in the country, sir.
Have you listened about BIFR? Bureau of Financial Construction. BIFR, there is a agency set up by Minister of Finance after economic reform. Have you listened?
Sorry, sir, I don't know about this. I'll read about it.
Actually, what about the CQ units of the industrial? They have to give opportunity to re-establish it. That is the BIFR.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, I'll read about it, sir.
One another thing. WHO, you know.
Yes, sir.
What is the guidelines of WHO? Ki what percentage of GDP we should spend on health?
Sorry, sir, I exactly don't know what the exact ratio that is, sir. I'll read about this, sir.
Kamru, Pratham, Kamru is a village or it's a tehsil?
Sir, it's a village. Tehsil is Sangla, sir.
Tehsil is in Sangla.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Kinnor is your district.
Yes, sir.
Kinnor is famous for?
Sir, it's famous for its high quality apples as well as sharing border with China, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sharing border with China.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your father's occupation is agriculture.
Yes, sir.
So, what kind of crops you are growing there in the agriculture?
Sir, mainly it is horticulture and mainly apple. Apart from it, sir, we grow some vegetables as well as some other fruits which are consumed locally, like peaches and apricots, etc. Sir.
It's basically it is horticulture.
Yes, sir. Majorly apple.
Okay,
Yes.
majorly apple. Three main problems you are facing as farmer.
Yes, sir.
Main problems
Sir,
in the agriculture sector you are facing as a.
so first is in terms of, sir, hailstorms that Himachal is facing, and it affects the apple production. And the climatic changes is also affecting the duration of the harvesting season. It is affecting that. Secondly, in terms of connectivity, the region is facing challenges because the shelf life of apple is less.
Natural calamity तो beyond our control है. मैं तो problems की बात की कि what type of problems you are facing from the side of the government as well as the marketing की कोई problem हो, क्या face करते हो?
So one is connectivity because of the geographical challenges.
Yeah.
Second is in terms of, sir, credit availability because apple is an input intensive field. Third would be in terms of, sir, knowledge because the practices are very traditional in sense, and there have been improvements and technological aspect for apple production, sir, that we have not yet implemented, sir.
Is there any ICAR unit, Indian Council of Agriculture Research unit for the apple development or apple?
Sir, there is an agriculture university in Himachal which is working on that, sir, in producing hybrid of apple produce, sir. Hybrid species of this.
So that's a hybrid knowledge available to the farmers, or that's not floating to that?
So there is an hesitancy in farmers to adopt it, and secondly, in terms of, sir, outreach, the development is in initial stages, sir. So yet it is not implemented in ground level, sir.
Have you heard about the MSP?
Yes, sir.
Your apple production is covered under the MSP or?
No, sir. Apple is not covered under MSP, sir.
Not covered.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, what is happening in the Israel and Palestinian war? Lebanon war.
Yes, sir.
At present, what is the position?
Yes, sir. Recently, sir, in Doha, both the parties, Israel and Palestine, has agreed on ceasefire, and there will be a 3-phase ceasefire and de-escalation of the situation right now, sir.
Okay. International relations.
Yes, sir.
India and neighboring countries. What is the problem? Why we are not having the smooth relations with all the neighboring countries?
Yes, sir. So, despite our historical ties as well as geographical proximity, we are facing challenges. Firstly, because of the China factor, where China has put a lot of investment in these regions, and there is a tilt towards China. Secondly, in terms of, sir, the change in regimes in our neighborhood countries is the reason, and the later on instability is also posing our challenge. And apart from it, sir, we have geographical contestations as well with the neighbors. So these are the challenges that are causing such frictions amongst us and our neighbors, sir.
Okay. Why we are facing we are not having good relations with Sri Lanka as well as the Maldives.
Yes, sir.
There is no conflict of the
Territorial conflict is also there, sir.
Yeah.
Kachetivu Island between Sri Lanka as well as with Maldives. The China has, because of the China factor, they are trying to bargain with both India and China. So they are doing that balancing, and it is causing some friction. However, India has worked in multiple ways, where Sri Lanka has given debt restructure during when their financial crisis in the Sri Lanka, as well as to Maldives we have provided multiple concessions. So the Indian government is working to bridge the gap, sir.
Bridge the gap. But why this position has been created? We are not diluting the position of the China. China is upcoming like anything in all neighboring countries. So what is the reason? Our policy is different or some lacuna is there?
So because of the bigger economic size of China, they can provide more capital to these countries. And secondly, sir, our foreign policy is of non-interference in the sovereignty of different countries. So we directly do not went into the internal politics of the region. However, China do not have such policy. It influences the internal dynamics as well. And apart from it, sir, we are providing multiple concessions, as well as we have initiatives like BIMSTEC as well as other digital organization corporations to tackle the factor of China, as well as to develop the South Asian region in total, sir.
Okay. Kho Kho.
Yes.
Kho Kho is based on what original game? Kho Kho, when it has been come to the light, well, in my childhood I have not heard Kho Kho.
Yes, sir.
But this is now common from last 30 years.
Yes, sir.
So, which game we are having in India which is supporting Kho Kho, that is as parallel to the Kho Kho?
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question?
हाँ?
May you repeat the question, sir?
खो खो किस खेल से प्रोत्साहित गेम है?
Okay, sir. So initially, sir, Kho Kho has some origins from the Mahabharata, where the game was played with tug and chase on the raths. Later on, sir, Bal Gangadhar Tilak has codified it in his book, and after that, sir, there has been tournaments in the local leagues through which, sir, Kho Kho has been come into forefront in schools as well as different institutions.
How much players are in the team?
So there are, sir, 9 players in one side. However, the recent World Cup that India has organized, it has 7 players in one team when they are chasing. However, in international sports, sir, otherwise it is 9, sir.
It is 9.
Yes, sir.
Internationally, it is 7.
Yes, sir.
But
This World Cup, sir, Indian government has created some innovation rate, they have reduced the size to 7. Otherwise, it's 9, sir. Yes, sir.
And then internationally, what is the parameter of it? How much player there
Sir,
must
9,
be?
sir. 9 in one
Nine.
side.
9 on one side.
Yes.
Okay.
So Pratham, it seems that you completed your BA in 2022
Yes, sir.
and thereafter you did not pursue your studies further.
Yes, sir.
Any reason for that?
So after 2022, I was preparing for civil services. So I have given other exams like CISF Assistant Commanding exam that have cleared in between. And this is my second attempt. And I wanted to mainly focus on civil services. So that's why I did not pursue for higher education, sir.
Don't you think that pursuing higher education would have enriched your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it could have. As well as, sir, studying for civil services has provided me an opportunity to read and to understand multiple subjects at one time.
One can never say that he will be ultimately successful in civil service examinations, and on that pretext one cannot abandon his or her studies.
Yes.
Secondly, India has consistently and continuously improved its ranking in the Committee of Nations. India has also been demanding permanent place in the United Nations Security Council. There are many countries that support India's stand, but this is still not happening. What's the reason?
Yes, sir. So, India has argued for the multilateral reforms and seat in the UNSC security table. However, there are challenges from the organization called Coffee Club, which includes countries like Pakistan, which is not favoring India, as well as the P5 member. One of them is China, and it is not provide. It can use veto in terms of when India is included in the UNSC. These are the major two reasons that India is facing, sir.
India is also aspiring to be among the nations that claim themselves to be developed nations, developed countries, or civilized nations, as they call it.
Yes.
India, our country, has been striving hard to gain that position. So, what are the challenges in this regard?
So,
First would be, sir, the income disparity that India is facing, where recent Oxfam report has highlighted that 1% of the elites almost hold 40% of the wealth. Secondly, sir, there is a challenge of economic disparity, as well as, sir, social challenges are there. For example, the social divide in urban and rural area. There is an developmental disparity in India as well. Apart from it, sir, the educational as well as the health parameters are creating some challenge to realize the developmental indicators that India needs in human development index. And so other challenges would be in terms of, sir, unemployment that we are facing, and so these are the challenges that I can recall.
Okay, fine. So, don't you think that if our country improves quality of education and establishes universities that are of world ranking, and we are also in a position to earn Nobel Prizes in various fields, so that cumulatively will have a gainful impact on our efforts?
Yes, sir. On investing in education would definitely can provide a ripple effect in different sectors. And in terms of that, sir, new education policy as well as providing the opportunity of top universities to open their universities in India is initiative in that direction. And restructuring the education reforms to make it more practical as well as according to the demands of the industry are the steps that government has taken. So education indeed has a very huge contribution to play in terms of making India developed countries.
All these educational efforts can be converted into a reality once we provide adequate budget allocation.
Yes.
So compared to so many other countries, we are still not providing adequate and sufficient budget for the education sector.
Yes.
So do you have any idea how can this be managed?
So the current allocation is around 3%, and even according to NEP, we need to put at least 6% in the education sector. We can, to tackle this challenge, sir, we can do public-private partnership. Secondly, we can issue educational bonds to raise finance, and also, sir, we can leverage the technological aspect to provide education. For example, the eSwim portal as well as the EPG Pathshala are some of the steps where students in the remote areas can also access education, sir.
Education in private sector is becoming beyond the reach of ordinary people. So what is the alternative?
I think, sir, first of all, there should be a regulation in terms of the fee structure in the country in private schools, and to make it realistic. And second thing, there could be the public-private partnership where the meritorious student can even study in private schools as well. And there are schools, alternate schools by the government, for example, sir, Kendra Vidyalayas, for example, Navodaya Vidyalayas, which are providing very good education as par to the private good schools in the country. So these schools can be promoted as well.
In Himachal, there are some inter-religious conflicts. So as a civil servant, in what way would you like to address that problem?
So, inter-religious, sir.
Yes.
First would be to create social harmony by conducting fairs and festivals which are of national importance and promoting the social cohesion there by showcasing the composite culture of India. Second would be in terms of educational reforms where the sensitization and the awareness of the students should be done at school level, and the constitutional values like brotherhood, fraternity should be taught. And apart from it, sir, the social elements which are increasing such cases where they are radicalizing, it should be tackled by law and order as soon as it arises. These are the things we can do, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So Pratham, we had a wonderful interaction with you,
Thank you, sir.
and let us give you the feedback, sir.
प्रथम बाकी तो ठीक है, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. आपको अपने स्टेट के बारे में, और ठीक आप करंट अफेयर्स तो ठीक है, लेकिन थोड़ा अगर पहले जाते, जैसे मैं नेहरू के बारे में पूछ लिया
जी सर,
तो आपको नहीं पता था वो बिल्कुल. और दूसरा है, जब मैं इकोनॉमिक का फॉर्म शुरू हुआ तो बाई फॉर वाज द मेन कि जो भी इंडस्ट्रियल सीक्वेंस थी उसके साथ बोर्ड ऑफ फाइनेंशियल एंड इंडस्ट्रियल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन. तो ये चीज़ें बेटा थोड़ा आपको भी टाइम है. मेरा कब है इंटरव्यू आपका?
18th of February, सर.
कभी टाइम है,
समय है सर इनके पास.
तो इसलिए आप करंट अफेयर्स तो करिए. सर ने आते आते पूछ लिया,
जी सर.
एक सभी स्वामित्व वाले में पूछ लिया था. तो इसलिए कम से कम ये है कि यू एम्फसाइज ऑन करंट अफेयर्स एज वेल एज आवर प्रीवियस टाइम्स, इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म, ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन और नेहरूज टाइम, दैट इज वन सीट. तो थोड़ा सा इसको ठीक करके जाएगा. अदरवाइज तो ठीक है, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, ठीक कर लीजिएगा उसको. तो हाँ, तो बिल्कुल ये जो है मतलब थोड़ी, अदरवाइज तो आप ये देख लीजिए कि जो आपका जो नॉलेज है वो आपने वो जो मेंस में वो टेस्ट हो चुका है. यहाँ तो ये है कि हाउ इंटरेक्ट भी और हाउ यू रिप्लाई अबाउट मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स फेस बाय अस, तो उस पर देख लिया था. वही तो ठीक है.
जी सर, मैं पढ़ता हूँ सर.
हाँ ठीक है.
अपना नॉलेज बेस थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव करने की जरूरत है.
जी सर.
ठीक है. वो बॉस बताएंगे टेक्निकली कि कैसे और इम्प्रूव किया जाए, और नॉलेज बेस्ड इम्प्रूव होगा तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस भी अपने आप थोड़ा इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा। बाकी यू आर गुड, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके भी। और ड्रेस में केवल इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि ये एक ऐसी लग रही है कि जैसे वकील की कोई ड्रेस आ गई हो। हाँ, तो थोड़ा टाई का कलर अगर चेंज कर सकें तो मतलब थोड़ा सा कंट्रास्ट में चली जाएगी टाई तो और अच्छा लगेगा पर्सनैलिटी। थैंक यू।
ये अच्छा कर रहे हैं, अच्छी तैयारी कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा इनको और करने की ज़रूरत है। और मैं फील करता हूँ कि इनको हायर एजुकेशन और साथ साथ परस्यू करते रहना चाहिए जैसे भी हो। एंड आई विश हिम गुड लक।
इग्नू से मैं कर रहा था सर, बट अभी वो मतलब मास्टर्स अभी कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ तो फिर वो डिस्टेंस से ही चल रहा है।
Acha, you have not joined the CAPF till now. Is the offer still open for you or it's closed now?
Sir, it's still open. The trading has not begun. Sir.
Acha, so you have already, so which service are you getting?
CIS.
Acha, wonderful. Now, coming back, first of all, you are a very good candidate and we do expect you are a young candidate, you are a very good candidate, you have got an excellent articulation and by and large you know the facts also. But then of course, as rightly said by my esteemed colleagues, that you need to check up on the facts. And many of the things, you know, you should not what you call cut it down, but try to get more into it. So, I'll first address some discussion that we are having, and then of course after that I'll come over to what you should be doing, you know, especially in terms of global warming, other things. So, you know, the government has been able to develop what you call almost 2,500 seeds, which can, seeds which can be resilient to the impact of heat as well as drought. So, you see, actually what happens, you know, you have mentioned that conservation, Himalayan conservation, you know. So, conservation means environment. Environment means impact. See how things, you know. So, once you have mentioned something, then need to be a master in that. I hope you appreciate. Now, how much had you got in the interview? This is the first interview for the civil services. Yes, but how much had you got in the previous interview with the
72%.
2% that would translate to around
it's out of
110.
So it's out of 150. So
How much?
I got 108. So.
100. That's a very nice marks. I was anticipating also. So in this personality test also, if you prepare on the lines that we are suggesting, yes, so you'll obviously do very well. And you have the potential for that. So now coming over, first of all, once you enter the board, I was finding that you are wishing everybody. You don't have to wish everybody. You wish the chair, right?
Okay, sir.
And in case there is a lady member also, then you have to wish her along with the chairman, correct?
Okay, sir.
Right.
But
So,
sir, one doubt.
now please.
So some suggest, sir, first wish to the lady member first and then to the chair. Sir.
कोई बात नहीं है. Ladies first. You will be politically more correct. In fact, you'll be politically more correct. Chairman deserves a higher order, but if you have wished the lady first, perhaps you may get an additional mark also. But they're no hard and fast rule.
Okay, sir.
But generally, actually, what happens now? Once you come, sit down. So the chair is in front of you. If you see you have been to the UPSC, obviously. So you'll have the chairman, and then you'll have two members on either side. You know.
Yes,
So instead of you first straight wish here and then wish there. If there's a lady chairman, so nothing to be, there's no confusion, right? This is number one. Number two, initially I marked, but later on you improved upon that you're answering him and seeing the other person, so don't do that.
Okay, sir.
Again, coming back, it's a small room and the way things are placed, you know. So the best thing is not to get diverted, but address the person who is asking you a question.
Yes,
Is that correct?
Okay, sir.
Right. Third is that your interview is on the 18th?
18th of February.
18th of February, which means you have 1 month, and 1 month is a good amount of time. Sir mentioned, in fact, you know, आप थोड़ा तह पर जाइए, बैठ करके जाइए. You are good, you articulate, you know things, you know. But then see the thing is, your written papers are over. Whatever had to be tested has been tested, and the die has been cast. Now you can't change what is there now. So basically, you have to improve your positioning, your ranking. Merely going and attending the interview and perhaps not scoring very well can mean life and death in your case. Life and death in terms of fact that if you score well, you get a better service, you get a better service, and you get a better cadre also. That is how it works out, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how. So you have that thing in mind that I shall strive to do the best, right? Now, from where do you anticipate? How do you anticipate that? You have a DAF 1 and DAF 2. There are two sets of parameters from which, or there are two sets of boxes from which you draw the questions. The first is your DAF 1 and DAF 2.
Yes,
Now, sir asked you a very interesting question because he saw that you are only a BA. So the entire interview went on education back, कि आपको ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करनी चाहिए थी. See what happens, you are a very young candidate and very lively candidate. But we would like to test you. Now, once we came to education, in fact, then of course, some of the data that you're relating was not correct. So I would not say what is the correct data. I can rattle that off also, but then have an authoritative version. And I think authoritative version of the things would be from, you have an India reference annual with you? Yes. India 2023, India 2024.
I haven't read, sir.
And in case, since you are in town, you stay here or you will go back to Kinnaur?
Sir, I will be in Delhi.
You will be in Delhi. So go over to the publication division or go over to Jain Book Center. ये यहाँ पर है, क्या कहते हैं, Connaught Place में है. या पब्लिकेशन डिविजन में जब आप जाओगे पब्लिक मिल जाएगा. एक ले लीजिए. उससे एक फायदा क्या होता है ना, सर वाज रेफरिंग टू MSME एंड अदर थिंग्स. आजकल दिक्कत क्या आ रही है कि ये आजकल आप लोग चैट GPT देखते होंगे, ये देखते हो कहाँ से डेटा, क्या का डेटा आता है. वी वुड नॉट लाइक, इफ एट ऑल यू आर गिविंग डेटा एंड वी एक्सपेक्ट यू टू गिव डेटा, so perhaps going for the official version, which will be very, very reliable. And where do you get the official version? Either you go to the website of the concerned ministry, or alternatively, एक जगह मिल जाए. It depends on how you look at it,
Okay, sir.
Get authoritative version. You refer, then refer to the, right?
Yes, sir.
So one is your data set. One is your DAF 1, DAF 2, and the other. And now that you have made your CISF, so whether you have, irrespective of the fact whether you joined or not,
Yes, sir.
a lot many questions can be asked from this from the point of internal security, and that will also lead you to something like Manipur also, or can lead to Kashmir also. Now that you have made it, if you have not made it, perhaps this question would not have been asked.
Yes,
So this one area. So take it from DAF, and then of course you had also mentioned conservation. Then of course see the recommendation of the Paris Agreement. Now the concept of 1.5, it's not an absolute concept basically. They said this much of a year would have taken to 1.5 and 1.5. Now if you have already crossed that 1.5, it's not 1.6 frankly speaking, in fact, And they're predicting for the next the fourth year would be hotter also, but they're also saying that it will be within the range of the last 3 years. The way the climate will be heating up. But it's a dangerous concept, because it has got tremendous impact. See, as a civil servant in the making, you are there to find solutions also. That's why I asked, chalo, theek hai, ye to hota hi rahega baith kar. See, a lot of interventions are there. So all governments will be thinking in terms of that. And not only that, Government of India would also, especially in the agreements and especially COP28, 29, whatever it is, whatever is going on, there also, there are two parties, especially the developed countries, the developing countries, and the requirement is so much, and there is a bargaining going on, and the amount that is required, people are not fulfilling that.
Yes.
And Trump becomes very important. What Trump did, all of a sudden they say that is providential justice, that what is happening in Los Angeles, in fact, So you should know Los Angeles also as to why, And the topography of, I would not say there can be tremendous similarities between Los Angeles and your state, but pahadi hai, wahan par bhi hai. Have you been to Los Angeles by any? No, you have not been there, but anyhow. So wahan par bhi hai, and why did it happen, Yeah, there are scientific reason as to why it happened. वहाँ पर इस समय तो बारिश विंटर बारिश नहीं हुई, ठंडा रहता था. इस बार बारिश नहीं हुई, सूखा एरिया में लग गया. और दूसरा एक और था, बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग था. In fact, it is said that those are not the recommended areas for creating the houses, etc., for having houses, etc. But the real estate lobby is very powerful, including America also. वो कहीं भी कोई बना देंगे. And when you were talking about conservation, I was asked you, it's not only the dam, but in your case also, all the rules and regulations have been flouted, and many of the things that 3 years back I was seeing the houses tumbling into the, it was all because they were not supposed to be having made there in the first instance. It also happened in the case of Uttarakhand, in fact, especially in Kedarnath, in fact, And then there's another debate going on, especially in terms of development and progress, in terms of development and in terms of what you call the dichotomy between development and environment, in fact, See, you are from a region which will impel the candidates to ask you all these counts. Now, sir asked you very interesting questions about horticulture, about Kinnor and all those things, and then that also brings you to the Kisan agitation, other thing, and agriculture and all those things. And agriculture, incidentally, your background is agriculture, in fact, So never ever. So get the official versions, and what is being done as a pioneering effort, and then that is the type of now preparation about. Sir also asked you about international relations, and internationally you should be aware of the fact, and especially our relations with our neighbors, in fact, the global stage and the immediate neighbors, And China, how do you counter China? That question can always be asked us, because it's not only by making tall claims that we can contest China. If you have to improve our economy is the only way out, There's no other way out, And then right now, especially with Trump coming into being, and especially international affairs, again, will make what you call a lot of discussions between, the approach between America and China is both competitive and collaborative, also competitive also. And then the tariffs, etc. So you must be very well aware of these facts, So what we'll suggest is, one area is DAF, the other area is the current affairs, etc. also. तो उसमें बेसिकली क्या है कि 40-50 इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यूज हैं, उसकी तैयारी कीजिए, लिख कर तैयारी कीजिएगा, सो दैट यू डोंट हैव टू रैम्बल, यू हैव टू बी फोर्थराइट, सीधी बात बताइए. नहीं जानते हैं, कहते नहीं जानते हैं, बिकॉज सी इफ यू ट्राई टू डू टू मच ऑफ गेसिंग, दैट अगेन क्रिएट अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स, बिकॉज दैट विल ओपन अप अननेसेसरी विंडोज ऑल्सो. एक विंडो से दूसरे विंडो में चले जाएंगे, तीसरे विंडो में चले जाएंगे, विच यू शुड बाय एंड लार्ज ट्राई टू अवॉइड. If you do not know some area, tell them I do not know, I do not have facts, until unless the board members ask you to hazard a guess, right? So ये सब चीजें हैं. और थोड़ा सा अखबार में there too is the interview in the morning and the afternoon hours, so you have time. जब आप जाएंगे आप पेपर जरूर पढ़ के जाइएगा, ठीक है ना. और दूसरा है कायदे से कि अच्छा आपको मॉर्निंग में है नहीं, मॉर्निंग को हम अलग से बताएंगे, बट ऑल्सो एट द सेम टाइम which newspaper do you read at this point in time? Indian Express. So that's right. I mean, not that I will be saying okay आप ये पढ़ो वो पढ़ो, but whatever you पढ़ो आप पढ़िए, उसमें बहुत सारे आपके चीजें आती रहती हैं. Read them well, prepare some notes where it is required, so that your and then another way out is that you have a e-version of the Indian Express or any other newspaper that you read. तो उसमें आजकल आता है from the civil service point of view or explained opinion. So most of the things are there. You can take it, cull it out, You see. So this is exactly what you want. And sir asked you about industries, etc.
I think
आप horticulture, जब agriculture आओ तो उसका थोड़ा सा दूसरे एरिया को देखो ना बैठ करके. So India Reference Annual would really help you out, I'm telling you. You'll get the information. And you're a bright student. I've been seeing 10-pointer and this thing and all those things, You won't take much. And your level of preparation is very good, actually. So you won't take much of time to collect the information and to collate the information. So this is what I would like to suggest. And एक और हमारी सलाह है आपसे, 1 महीना है, अब आप बहुत जगह, we cannot restrain you. Neither restrain nor inhibit, but we can always suggest to inhibit you from visiting too many places. आप पढ़ाई पर कंसंट्रेट कीजिए. आप 1-2 जगह चले गए, 2 या 3 जगह चले गए. I mean, I'm not stopping you. I'm inhibiting you, obviously, so that you concentrate and don't get confused.
Actually, मुझे भी यही लग रहा है कि मैं पढ़ ज़्यादा नहीं पा रहा हूँ.
तो ऐसा नहीं बताया ना. तो आप सब तैयारी कीजिए. हाँ, डेप्थ चाहिए ना. See, you need to score and score very high. But the areas from which you are likely to anticipate questions, these are the areas, and including the Kisan agitation, all those things, you should be knowing. Agriculture, another thing, horticulture. Now the strain in the rural areas. See, you are a lucky state. You are a state which everybody is well off by and large, and it's because of the horticulture. But come down from the heights and come to the plains and go to the rural area. So you should know what are the stress point in the rural area and what the government is doing. Government is doing a lot of things. I can tell you. Know all the schemes. The scheme should be in your heart, so that when they ask you, they speak. And only recently, sir mentioned about about what scheme was sir अभी जो मैंने पूछा था पिछले स्वामित्व
स्वामित्व।
should know it. It's a landmark thing, I tell you. It's a landmark thing. आज ही आया था. It's a landmark thing of empowering the rural masses.
Yes, sir. I'll read that in detail.
And see it in conjunction with the government's grants, especially Jan Dhan and other things. You know, this is a question of financial inclusion, and then of course it's something, and it's not only financial. It's not property inclusion. क्या कह सकते हैं इसको? You have some things on which you can say yes, इसमें I mean beyond any doubt, so that you can use a collateral and getting access to microcredit or to credit.
Credit history बन जाएगा.
आप समझ मेरी बात को? तो आप ऐसा तैयारी कीजिए. आप कोई पूछना चाहेंगे?
सर एक I have one sir.
जी
सर फॉर एग्जांपल मैं अगर ये पढ़ लिया उसके बाद ओपिनियन बनाने में मुझे थोड़ा इशू होता है. जैसे एमएसपी पे कि आप देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स आई नो, बट सर देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जांपल इन इंटरव्यूज दे आस्क कि आप मान लो आप प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी है सीएम के, तो आप क्या बोलेंगे कि फ्रीबीज हिमाचल में देनी चाहिए या एमएसपी देना चाहिए. सर उस टाइम क्या ओपिनियन देना है, बायस मतलब बायस में वन साइड देना चाहिए कि दे दो ऐसे
वन साइडेड जस्टिफिकेशन के साथ अपना व्यू रखिए है. देना चाहें ना देना चाहें, लेकिन एक साइड में जाएंगे आप और उसको जस्टिफाई.
ओके सर, मतलब स्टैंड लेना है वहां पे अगर
जो भी देना है इसके पीछे जस्टिफिकेशन.
आप चाहते हैं देना चाहिए, तो देना चाहिए के साथ आपके साथ जस्टिफिकेशन के 1 2 3 4 पॉइंट होने चाहिए. ठीक है. अगर आप कहते हैं कि नहीं देना चाहिए, इट विल बी अ बर्डन टू द स्टेट और समथिंग, जो भी आपके दिमाग में, तो भी आपके पास 1 2 3 4 5 वो होना चाहिए.
आपके दोनों डेटा सेट्स होने चाहिए. एक डेटा सेट मत काम कीजिएगा बैठकर, एक डेटा सेट पर फिर आपका माइंड होगा इधर ज्वाइन हो जाएगा. या बोथ द डेटा सेट्स एंड देन यू कैन ऑलवेज गिव एन ओपिनियन ऑन दैट. अच्छा, दैट आल्सो ब्रिंग्स मी टू अनदर वन एरिया आई वाज थिंकिंग व्हेन यू आर एंटरिंग, इन फैक्ट स्पेशली इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेनी ऑफ द because the political science international relations which also brings you close to law, और आप लॉ के आप यूनिफॉर्म में पहने हुए हो बैठ करके, तो उसमें जरूर कर लीजिएगा बैठ करके. थोड़ा सा जो जुडिशियल प्रोनाउंसमेंट बहुत सारे हुए हैं, 5-7 हैं, गिन के 5-7 हैं. जैसे अबाउट शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स ओनली, उसमें भी है कायदे से कि वेदर में कंट्रोवर्सी चल रहा है कि सब क्लासिफिकेशन बात चल रही है, तो ठीक है, यू शुड बी नोइंग अबाउट दैट. मैं इसीलिए से कह रहा था. या आपके इलेक्शंस के बारे में है, आपके वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन है, तो ये सब जितनी चीजें हैं, जितनी जो चीजें भी आ रही हैं, 5-7 इश्यूज होंगे. प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट आल्सो. एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस?
नहीं सर.
राइट, डू ऑल द बेस्ट.
ओके,
बॉस ने बहुत बिल्कुल सही कहा है. 50 से 60 पॉइंट को प्रिपेयर कर लीजिए.
बिल्कुल, यू आर वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट.
ऑल द बेस्ट. बाकी जो कुछ भी कहो उसका जस्टिफिकेशन अभी पास रखो.
हाँ, बस वही है.
मतलब ओपिनियन दिया.
आप कुछ उसमें जो पूछ रहे सर, आप कुछ गलत बोल रहे हैं, डोंट गेस. नहीं है तो बता दिए, नहीं जानते, कोई खराबी है. एवरीबॉडी इज नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड टू नो एवरीथिंग. नहीं करते कि क्या नहीं, आप गलत बोलो, अच्छा नहीं लगता कि मैं आपको लेक्चर देना शुरू कर दूं. लेकिन कम से कम ये है बेटा, व्हाट एवर यू से यू शुड हैव जस्टिफिकेशन. और जो चीज आपको नहीं आती बिल्कुल कह दो सर नहीं आता है.
वो सर इकोनॉमी वाला जो 3 डिफरेंस था उसमें थोड़ा
हाँ उसमें भी था.
यस
पंचशील पे भी पूरा नहीं था आपको, लेकिन वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
प्रॉस एंड कॉन्स आप दोनों तरफ के दीजिए, लेकिन एक तरफ स्टैंड लेते हुए उसको जस्टिफाई कीजिए.
मतलब ये है.
और एक चीज को थोड़ा सा आप कर सकते हैं, यू कैन ऑलवेज थिंक अबाउट इट. सी अल्टीमेटली यू आर गोइंग टू सर्व द गवर्नमेंट, यू नो. तो आपके इतना ज्यादा भी क्या कहते हैं ऐसा ना हो बिल्कुल टेंजेंशियल आपके कहीं और भाग रहे हैं बैठ करके. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट यू डिफरेंस टू द गवर्नमेंट. इट्स नॉट अ क्वेश्चन. यू आर अ सिटीजन ऑफ द कंट्री, सो यू हैव राइट टू से थिंग्स, यू नो, बट whatever right you have can be exercised with caution.
Okay, sir.
समझ गए मेरी बात को?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Right, all the
Best of
best.
luck.